Hey everyone, welcome back to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Last time we picked up the star map on Tatooine, and concluded our main business here on the planet, on this dust ball. And we killed a crate dragon too, which impressed the hell out of these sand people, and the chieftain has given us permission to listen to the history of their people, which apparently only the storyteller is allowed to memorize and recite. A great honor, I'm sure. Yeah, these sand people just do not like outsiders, regardless of how amazing I am.
He identifies himself as the storyteller, Master. He has been told of your warrior skills and will speak the history to you.
Oh, okay. You'll speak it? They don't write it down?
Translation. Translation. Theirs is an oral history, Master, an active part of their lives. It is only permitted to relay the tales face to face. Translation. A book or datapad can be taken away, cheapening the value of what it contains. To commit it to paper or storage is to remove it from the people.
Huh. Well, yeah, oral stories are often inaccurate.
Translation. Translation. He says that you dare not question the accuracy of his information. The stories are learned perfectly by each successive storyteller.
Right.
Translation. In fact, they aren't allowed to speak the stories aloud unless they are exact. Any error is considered a blasphemy, punishable by death.
Oh, not even exile. They just kill you outright.
Sufficient to me, Master. A score of apprentice storytellers would be slaughtered each generation. What if the elder died before completing the teachings?
Well, that's why you study as hard as you damn well can before trying to recite them, I suppose. Should I push this further? Yeah, go ahead and ask him that.
Translation. Translation. Apprentices are trained from birth. Very few speak the words
Oh,
in
okay.
Storytellers are most often lost in battle between tribes. Translation. Any tribe that loses its storyteller is obviously unworthy of existing. They lose their connection to history and destroy themselves within
Oh,
fighting
wow.
soon after.
Yeah, I didn't even remember that part. So yeah, it's like, the storyteller is like the most important person of each tribe. It's like, without their storyteller, it's like, what's the point? It's like you're just existing, you have nothing to live for, I guess. Alright, so what topics can I choose from?
Translation. Translation. You may choose to hear the history, or you may choose not to. Their history is a single entity that cannot be partitioned.
Oh,
Translation. The only exception is in continuing the tales once they have begun. If you leave, when you return, he will continue from where he left off.
yeah, I'm probably just gonna like listen to them all in one go, and just like insert my own, stuff in between each little chapter, if you will. Okay, yeah, begin the history.
Translation. Translation. It begins with the ancient times. They were not sand people, for there was no sand. The land was green with life,
Oh wow.
and they walked without wrappings. Translation. Though the land was beautiful, they lived apart from the land. They built their walls high and saw beyond the horizon. They dared to reach the stars. Translation. There are no words for how long ago this was. It was before the outsiders, before the abduction, before the cities fell, before the builders.
Oh ho. So it appears that like before they're able to like sort of reach the point where they can like leave their planet. Like this, like the Infinite Empire came in and, you know, blew the crap out of them and enslaved them. Huh. Okay. Yeah, this is like so freaking long ago. It's like there's no history of Tatooine ever not being a sand planet, and it's like this is when it was still green with life. So you know that's pretty damn long ago. Yeah, continue with the history.
Translation.
Before they had wrappings too. So wow.
Translation. His arrogant people touched the stars, and this sin drew the attention of the builders. The builders did not touch the stars, they lashed them to millstones. Translation. Great demons of metal stripped the world of its riches, until all that was left was the green of the ground. The great cities were lifted away. Translation. Those that had used the wealth were taken along with it. Transgressors abducted to serve past the sky, seeding the stars with penitent, adaptable slaves.
I want to ask questions about what I've heard.
Cautionary. I should warn you, Master, that any questioning of their interpretation may be seen as trying to change the meaning of what was said.
Right.
Clarification. They may consider this to be speaking the words in error, a blasphemy they would attempt to kill you for.
Okay. Let's ask about the ancient times first.
Clarification. It would appear that they once had a thriving technologically advanced society, but were wiped out by a much more sophisticated alien species.
And there's nothing in the Galactic Records that would verify that. It was like before the Old Republic. And he said that, like, is before any memorable time, so it's no use even asking that part. Ask him if these builders resemble any modern species.
Translation. Translation. He only understands the builders as an iconic force meant to test the results.
Oh, okay, like some kind of god or something.
Sense, Master. Clarification. They claim their stories are repeated unchanged, but they have demonized these builders. In their minds, they wreaked such havoc they could not possibly be flesh and blood.
Yeah, they're like demons or something. Like a race of demons descended from the sky and like punished them for daring to touch the stars. Yeah, that sounds like a...
Cautionary. Remember?
Yeah. That sounds something like a tribal people would believe. I want to ask about the time of enslavement.
Clarification. I believe they were occupied by this technologically superior species for a substantial period. Stripping an entire planet of usable resources would have taken generations.
Right. That's why Tatooine doesn't have any useful minerals. That's like only periodically people come by to like take what little resources it has. Okay. Yeah, like he's gonna know how many of these people were taken off world. Yeah, there's neither of these questions are worth asking. It's like the invaders did this so they could fuel their empire. So, all right, let's.
Obedient. I will ask whatever you wish,
Oh,
Master.
enough with the sarcasm, asshole. Yeah, continue the history.
Translation. Translation. There came a time when the builders were also judged for their crimes. After generations, a plague weakened them,
Oh.
and the time of the Great War began. Translation. The builders faltered, and his people realized why they had been punished, so that they understood the crime, and would now strike down the greater offender. Translation. They worked chaos in the machines, so they destroyed themselves. The builders fought back, laying waste to the green that had Translation, soil became glass, grinding to sand. But the fight was long planned, and his people were safe. Deep in cave homes carved from valley wall, they were free.
Oh wow. So it sounds to me like this infinite empire suffered some sort of plague, probably from this planet, and like the Sand People used this weakness to destroy their harvesting machines, and you know, they fought back, and then the builders like, oh shit, and they like glassed the entire planet because it was just like, you know, it's like just completely unsalvageable at that point. But the Sand People were smart. They like went underground. They had it all planned out ahead of time.
Cautionary. Remember my warning, Master.
I know, dude. Want to ask about the Great War?
The occupying force suffered some sort of species-wide plague that lowered their numbers over time.
Right.
His people used this extended weakness to sabotage their
Oh, their
larger
ships.
The response of the builders appears to have been to lay waste to the entire surface of Tatooine.
How could they repel such a powerful species?
Doubting. They didn't, Master. They struck a blow. But the storyteller only believes they won because the builders were gone when they emerged from their caves. That does not mean they defeated anyone. It seems clear that the builders simply sterilized their problem and left. The enemy judged them not worthy to fight.
You know, it's like, why would you even fight them? It's like, you know, you glassed the entire planet, now it's completely unusable. So it's like, well, why even... At that point, you're just be attacking the Sand People out of grudge. So it sounded like they were smart and left anyways. And what kind of weapon could do so much damage?
Clarification. I may not have properly conveyed how long they fought with the builders. Given time, any number of armaments could destroy a world. Hypothesis. Perhaps this is another distortion. Their climate may have begun to fail due to their unrestrained development even before the builders arrived. Looking back thousands of years later, such a shift could easily be attributed to the much-hated conquerors.
No, do not suggest such a possibility to him. Yeah, it's like they just bombarded the crap out of Tatooine for like years and years until the entire surface is just like completely glassed over, and then like, you know, tectonics and weather and all that grinds it back down to sand. All right. And of course they went underground so that they wouldn't get like killed. All right, let's continue with the history.
I will ask whatever you wish, Master.
I really enjoy like this history that they attributed to the Sand People, because it's like before this game, you know, the Sand People basically had no history. And it's nice. This is a cool little touch. I like it. Continue the history.
Translation. Editing, if I may, Master. This section of his tale details several millennia of the Long Walk, their nomadic wanderings as they accept their identity in a desert world. Rather than strain my circuits on his dialect, might we just assume there was much fighting over who has the biggest bantha and move on to more recent things?
No, I want to hear it all. Yeah, you sound kind of pissed from that little jab that HK did. Yeah, I want to hear it all.
Resignation. Very well, Master.
Several hours later.
Translation. The tribes spread far, distant from each other, but all as Sand People and all cherished the land that remained. The sand would not be misused. Translation. Then machines fell from the stars again, outsiders like you that brazenly walked apart from the land. And greater still was the insult to come. Translation. These These outsiders reminded them of their past transgression, of the time when they too walked apart from land. The outsiders, your kind, looked like their ancient abducted. Translation: so it is to the current sons, that the Sand People hate all outsiders and give them no footing. You come again, time after time, adaptable slaves to the machine.
So they basically see us as, like themselves before they became the Sand People. Like these filthy sinners that would dare touch the stars. Is there anything further? No, I'll ask questions first.
Cautionary.
Ask about the long walk.
Impatience. Master, I refuse to inconvenience you with this. He spouted names of petty tribal fights in deserts so distant they might as well be across the galaxy. Really, Master, I'm sure it's important to him, but it has nothing of value that you could ever put to use.
We'll have to discuss this impudence, HK-47.
Agreement. Of course, Master. Just no more of their inane wandering.
Fine.
Obedient. I will ask whatever you wish, Master.
Damn straight you will. Mouthy droid. Is there anything more?
Translation. Translation. The tribe spread far, distant.
Yeah, we already heard this. Yeah, is there anything further?
Editing. The last 1,000 years are full of conflicts with different groups of attempted planetary settlers, all of whom are poorly described, long dead, and likely untraceable. I believe I have truncated it down to the usable bits in what was already said. I hope it is enough, Master.
Yeah, sure. I'll return later.
Translation. We are free to leave.
So, you know, thanks, dude. Thanks for sharing your history with us. It was fun learning about you. In fact, this is probably like from this well, not probably. It is from this particular instance, like where you get to know the Sand People. Where am I going? Okay, I'm going the right way. Where you get to know the Sand People in this game. That like inspired me to create my roleplay character in Star Wars Galaxies as a sand person. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, they're not just like mindless monsters. You know, Sand People are people too. Anyways, I think I'm going to go back to town and then like complete whatever few side quests remain there before heading off to the next planet. So I guess I'll see you guys there. Alright, so I'm just about back at town. To Anchorhead. I wonder how long Anchorhead's been a town. I wonder if the Sand People founded Anchorhead. Probably not. Oh, let's see if this has anything to say. Yeah. Oh, thank you, goodbye. Never mind. I thought it says, like, might have had something to say about, like, ancient history or whatever. Fun fact, Jawas and Sand People share the common ancestor. The one that was enslaved by the Infinite Empire. They're actually the same species. Then, over time they evolved into different species. So that's cool. Let's see what's in the cantina. I didn't really get to see, have a good look around the place. Gandro. Gandalf?
Well now, what can Gandro do for you? It's been a while since I've had anyone bothering talking to me. Usually it's some kid wondering what my old racing days were like when I was back on Taris. Seems like
Yeah, it sucks about Terrace. I would ask a few questions if you have the time.
I'm not sure what I have that you would be interested in. I'm just an old swoop jock that doesn't have the head for it anymore.
Okay, I want to ask about you and racing. Why not?
Ah, something I know. Well, something I used to know. My racing days are behind me. The Gandro is the name.
How long did you race?
Oh, well, past my prime by any measure. I started late, too. Not like the kids out there now. Some of them are too young.
Why do you think that?
It's a cutthroat business. I've seen some of them burn out after a year. They get dangerous and don't live long. That's not everyone, of course, but it happens. I'm a has-been, I'll admit. But dying while you're on top is still dying. I'll pass.
Oh, well. That's a good enough reason. Is this the best place for racing?
Best place to race is wherever the track treats you sweet and your times are golden. It's that simple. You get hung up on any one track and he'll end up like me. My favorite stop was Taris. Taris. Always look forward to going back. Now, I don't want to touch my bike at all. Maybe I wasn't in the winner's circle lately, but I still race for sport, you know?
Yeah, I guess, if you spend so much time in one place and then, like, all of a sudden it's gone, you know, that'd make you sort of reevaluate your life. You know, make you lose your nerve. What made Terrace any different from here?
A woman.
Oh.
I never won on Taris, but it was always my first stop on the circuit, and last if I could help it. That doesn't matter now. You can't ask for more certain closure than the whole planet being gone. Poof, boom, gone.
That's sad.
All right, then. Keep safe. Yep. Seems like tough times are coming.
Okay, Ducky.